Turn to your audience.
You say hit go live?
Blue button. Make sure
every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with global.media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or
Hello. Welcome, everyone. My LinkedIn still says event will start soon, but the event has started. We're here. What I want to know is who is here. Yeah, LinkedIn's noticed that we are live. I see a picture. Yay! We're live on LinkedIn as well. Superb. Are you live, Laverne? Are your channels gone live? Is the button red?
Yes, yeah. I see a check mark on them, Annie.
So have you gone live or not?
And it says live at the top.
There you go. That's what we need. Excellent. Right. Whoever's here, please drop us a comment so we know you're here. Otherwise, we'll never know who's here. That's the thing about live streams. You know? We know you're here, but we don't know who you are. So say hello. So tell us where you're joining us from. Say anything. Ask a question if you want, but just be funny. Anything you want to say, then we can welcome you properly, and then we can begin to work out how to involve you in the show if we can. Of course, we'd love you to come on stage and share with us. The link to the StreamYard studio is in the comment. So you can come in the studio. If you don't want to be seen, you can turn your camera off. If you want to be, if you want the full glory, then keep your camera on and share with us. Now, more importantly, have a conversation with my superstars, Laverne and Keith. Yay! The winning team is what I call them from now on. I didn't tell them that before we started, by the way. But Laverne, says you are the winning team, so it's a good thing. How are you two doing?
We're doing great. Doing really great.
Wonderful, Annie.
Superb. There is a long delay between us. So let's bear that in mind as we share today.
Happy to be here. Yeah, there is a delay.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's the internet for you. But I'm sure we know we've got fun planned for you today, right? We have fun planned
technology.
Yeah, we'll get around it. Yeah. The conversation around marriage is always a good one because yes, that either you're married or you were married or you're gonna get married. Yeah, so it's always good to share, I guess, some realities. That's the aim today. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I want to hear what people have to say about marriage and making it work. Joni, you normally have a lot to say on marriage, so please do join us. That's me wishing success and people to join us as I invite them, which I'm sure they will. I've no doubt they will. So we've got some here already, so we're all right. So I say you are welcome to join the stage. So if you click the link in the comment, there's a StreamYard link in the comment, which you can use to join the studio. If you want me to send the link to the studio to you directly, then just let me know. I should send it to you in your DM. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. Who am I going to invite? Of course, Eddie's doing many things in the background, which not everyone sees, but it's part of my job. It's part of what I do for these events, right? Okay, right. Laverne, you're too quiet. You got to carry on talking. Laverne's about to get a shock.
Annie,
you gotta talk. This is a beginning. You got to entertain our friends, right? How are you doing, Laverne? How are you doing, Keith? Talk now. Talk.
We're playing our intro. We're not doing our intro.
We will do. We will do. We will do in good time.
We're not playing our music intro, Annie.
Calm down. Right.
We're doing great, Annie. We're doing really, really great.
So we're here to talk about marriage. Now we know marriage is not easy, Annie. It's not easy.
It's
But
easy.
it's a wonderful institution.
It's easy when you got a
So
winning
we
team.
want
it's
to
easy.
welcome everybody who's here today.
Yeah. So let's
easy
do
when you
that.
have a team. That's correct. So we want to welcome everybody who's here today, and
Yeah. So
yeah, we want to
let's
share.
let's
We want to share with others, and we want to open up the doors. Anyone can come on the stage and share with us as we talk about marriage, the wonderful things of marriage. We talk about the struggles of marriage, the challenges of marriage, and plus tomorrow is Valentine's Day, Annie.
Oh no!
So I think this is the best day for this session.
You don't mention my Valentine's Day to any wakes up in the hives.
We got to bring the love.
It's not the love; it's a commercial.
We got to bring the love in.
Look, the way to stay married is to show love all year round.
We're celebrating love.
Is that what Valentine's really is? It's just a day. You know, what about the rest of the year? What are the other 25 years?
It is just a day.
Yeah, I don't buy into it at all. Look, let's welcome our friends.
It's an everyday thing that we do.
I agree. We agree on that. So now, Michelle, welcome. Michelle loves learning from you, beautiful souls. She means you, not me. So that's fine. Michelle, thanks for joining us as always. So Michelle, it's always lively in the comments. Linda, all the way from Canada, glad you're here. We'd love to hear your thoughts, Linda. Please, do come and share with us. Who else is here? Michael. Michael is a grumpy marriage person. It's not grumpy. He likes to ask questions. He likes to. No, he's anti-marriage really, because he thinks it's all wrong. Yeah, but I try and bring him around to human, to be more human about things. It's not working. I say that for sure.
Really?
Ramonselli, welcome, sir. So I'm glad you're here. If you want to come and share with us, Ramonselli, let me know. I'll send you a link in the comments. I'm glad you're here. Well, I do a marriage room. I do a wedding on Saturdays. Is it this Saturday? Yeah, I think this Saturday. No, it's next Saturday. Okay, I'm free this Saturday. Yay. Anyway, so me and Tolu talk about issues in marriages. We'll talk about all sorts of things. Literally, how do you keep a happy marriage? What do men think or do women think? And all that, everything to do with marriage, we talked about so far. But she's written a book which I could show you, but I haven't opened it yet. Raging Waters. It's about cheats. Infidelity is the word, right? So again, we discussed that for a long time, and then we made her book an international best-selling book. I mean, she got 14 awards, 14 bestseller category awards. So that's we do talk marriage a lot of the time. But Australia was meant to be one of our guest speakers recently. So I'm glad you're here. I'm sure you got something to come and share with us. My best friend on LinkedIn, everyone's best friend on LinkedIn. If you haven't met Lisa Fevick, I'm sure you met her too. Have you met her?
Lisa.
Yes. You haven't met her, no? Yeah.
I have. Hi, Lisa.
Lisa's a superstar. She really is. Yeah. Who else is here? This is you, right? Is this you? Laverne Expressions. Yeah, that's your other device. Cool.
Oh, this is my YouTube.
That's all right. That's fine. Not a problem. I want to learn from people who are married, so I can learn. But Michelle, you can come and share with us as well. I know you've been married. So, have you been married? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But if you got anything to come and share with us, please feel free. Michael, you started. What's the meaning of a winning team in marriage? Yay, Laverne. Yay, Keith.
That's a wonderful question, Michael.
We're going to start there once we get started, so I'll bring that back. Who else is here? What Michael says? Michael says, I try and listen, and seeing what you're up to is very hard. Yes, Michael, I do a lot of things. Sandra, welcome. I just finished my event with Sandra not long ago. We'll talk about the corporate, professional, entrepreneur immigrant's journey. Basically, like professional immigrants and their journey as they settle in a new land. How do you find your purpose? How do you find your joy? And how do you create the life that you want? Of course, Sandra is working, is finishing her book off as we speak. So, it will be a good way for you to really get where she's coming from. She's a mindset coach primarily for immigrants to find that joy that I just mentioned, right? Sandra says, I'm a happy married person. Okay, now. Thank goodness, Sandra. Thank you. Come and share some of your gems. Have the words happy and marriage. It's a good thing, right? But it's not everywhere. Not everyone can say that. I remember when I wasn't. I remember when I wasn't happy being married, but now being married is a joy. Right, Lisa. I'm not beating up on Michael. Michael's my friend. I just tell you, I'm just honest about Michael, right? I'm just honest about what Michael thinks and how Michael thinks. At least it says hi, Laverne. Yes, for sure. Roman Sele, do watch a video. What Sandra say? Anybody, I'm your best friend on LinkedIn. Oh, let's not argue, Sandra. Yes, you're my best friend on LinkedIn. I will say, as much as I love many people on LinkedIn, Lisa is a different level of. Me and Lisa, we've been friends for years, and she's, there's. I don't know, how do I put it? On LinkedIn, you have some really good friends and some good friends. Lisa is one of my really diehard friends, and then literally we're stuck together. We'll do a room together as well. So we'll do a room on menopause. That's Lisa's specialist topic. So I'm glad you're here. Other people do argue with me, but I'm your best friend. You are. Lisa is Lisa. What can I say, right? Amolia, welcome. You don't know who Amolia is. She runs a audio leadership club. So she brings together audio leaders to, I guess, share ideas, share strategies, and form a community so we can learn from each other and support each other. Thank you so much for being here, Amelia. And I see my friend Elizabeth. I met Elizabeth a couple of days ago. I'm like, Elizabeth, you don't look like your picture. She does, really. My eyesight's bad, so I don't look at pictures too close. When I look to now, it's you, Elizabeth. I said I was going to do this, right? Elizabeth is a superstar, a true superstar. She's on a mission, to truly help people, and of course she's working on. She's just done a part in an anthology. That's one of the main things. I'm going to bring Elizabeth to audio, to live events in good time. So we're going to choose a date on Monday. You get to meet her and see what a genius she is. So she's truly lovely. So that's what I was going to say. That she's like, no, don't do that. I've just done it. Elizabeth, you get to meet her for sure. So Sandra Brother is trying to start a war. It's not true, Lisa. You're Lisa. What's the point, right? You are Lisa. There's Lisa. There's Paulette, and that's just how my life goes. Selena, we see you. Thank you for being here. Selena is one of my best friends. In case you don't know, saves me saying it later. Selena and I are working on a health anthology. So we're working on a group book for people who have experienced and survived life-threatening illnesses. So we want to hear your story. We want to let people know how to survive illnesses. And is it medication? Is it mindset? Is it religion? Is it exercise? Is it what you eat? Is it your lifestyle? So is it all of those things? None of those things? Some of those things? That's what I want the book to be about. Because if I suddenly got ill tomorrow, what would I do? I don't know. So I want the book to really tell me what to do to give me a chance to survive. So that's why if you suffer with a health-threatening and life-threatening illness and you want to be in this group book, please get in touch with me. I would love to add you to the book. If you look behind me, my first anthology is behind me, Lessons We Learned from COVID-19. 10 authors sharing their stories how we survived the pandemic. So I love doing group books. I love doing important books. Yeah. Stop it, you lot. So no, really stop it. No, carry on. Please carry on. Amy, you're one of my favorites on LinkedIn. Yes, one off. I like that. Thank you so much. Yes. Elizabeth, I told you I was going to tell him how great you are. And you just did, right? Yeah. Anyway. It's more than a joy, Elizabeth. Now, Amolia, you are amazing. Right. I got to the end of the welcomes for now. If you're here, my friends, please drop us a comment. Welcome, all of you. See, I did a show earlier, right? I'm not going to say whose show. And my host didn't even know there was anyone there. Didn't welcome anyone. I was like, what are you doing? Stop. We were talking to them. Just I didn't know they were there. So I thought there was no one here. So, it's always good to take time to welcome my friends. If you're on my YouTube, my friends, please stay there. Don't keep flicking in and out of YouTube. Stay there. You can go to Laverne's YouTube as well, because it was streaming to that as well. Yeah, but literally, I stay on my YouTube. I need the watch hours. I need the friends. I need the subscribers. I need the likes, the comments, all that stuff. Okay, superb. I've talked too much. Okay, so I'm gonna do what you told me to do. I'm gonna play the video. That way, we know why we're here. Here goes, my friends. Take a couple of minutes, and then we'll start the conversation with my two superstars. Don't forget, if you want to come in the studio, please click on the link. If you want the link direct to your DM, then message me on here. Say, send me the link. Otherwise, I won't see it. Here goes. Here's my 3 minutes of fame and the book that we're here about. Great day, my friends. I get to open another book that's arrived from Amazon. And there's a story behind this one. So let me open the book. This is Laverne's book. Late to the game but winning. I'll never know why the book is ever back to front on screen. It's very weird, but it is the right way. Late to the game but winning by Laverne P. Oliver. This is a great book because it's Laverne's life story, but it's more than a life story. It's more about the key lessons that she's learned in different parts of life. If you're thinking, what can I learn from Laverne? Who's Laverne? Look, what you're going to learn is the important things, like I said, so parenthood, career, development, home ownership, college degree, and many lessons learned. There's even affirmations and scriptural reminders. If you're thinking, who's Laverne? I don't know Laverne. Why do I care? Well, my friends, you get to meet her today. We're going to start her pre-launch events for her book. And we're going to launch the book on early March. We're going to do 4 events, 4 all live events to build a community and for you to get to know her and discuss some of the topics in the book. And then early March, we're going to have a book launch day where you get to buy the book at launch price, which is normally 99 cents, at most $1.99. And the UK was at 77 pence or £1.49. Now our pre-launch event starts today, Thursday the 6th, at 11 p.m. GMT or 6 p.m. EST. So do join us. Come and meet Laverne. Come and chat with Laverne. Come to the studio. Come and share your thoughts on the topic. And we're talking about parenthood today. So do join us and come add to the conversation. That's what makes a great day for any in the life of publishing and also events. Laverne, well done. You're a superstar. The world will get to know you, superstar, as well, Laverne. Laverne doesn't get tired of watching that video, right?
I love it, Eddie. I love it.
I can see that. I can see that. It's what I'm here for, to bring joy to my friends, especially those who are authors. I love authors. Done well to write a book, for sure. Look, the only way I can see this work is
wonderful for me to be able to share. For me.
Now, don't stop. You to just talk. Just talk. I'll stop talking.
There's a delay.
Yeah, but don't worry about the delays. Just talk. Let's be excited.
It's wonderful to be able to share. It's wonderful to be able to share in my book, my journey. The book pretty much, as Annie said, the book pretty much talks about goals and dreams that I had as early as a little child, and the avenues that I took to get to where I am today. I'm still a work in progress, but there have been challenges that at one point I didn't know how I was going to get over, or I wasn't sure how I was going to achieve that particular goal, that dream, but I did with the grace of God. And so this memoir, it just outlines and it highlights those historic moments in my life. So a little bit about myself, and again, I want to welcome everybody who's here. We had the first event last week. This is the second one. The first one was about parenthood, where we had guests on and we all shared about parenthood, the struggles and the challenges of parenthood. I am of a 20-year-old, well, he's 19, almost 20-year-old son. And I also introduced, my husband is here with me today. He was not here on the last session, but we've been married for
15 years.
15. Next month will be 17 years.
17 years?
See what a husband means. See? Okay, this is what happens in a marriage. We have to keep each other in check. So we're currently 16. March is going to be 17 years old. As I mentioned, we have a son, 20 years old.
He got close.
And I was born on the small little Caribbean island of St. Kitts in the West Indies, the first of 6 children. And from such a young age, I've always had goals. I had goals to be a parent, to be married, to own a home, to get a college degree, and so many other goals and dreams. And so it's great for these sessions like these that I can actually share with you some of the challenges. So even though now I have attained that goal, which is marriage, we're here tonight to talk about the challenges that we face. Marriage is an awesome institution. And so for us to share with you as to some things that we've encountered, some strategies and some just some insights as to those who are thinking of getting married or those who've been struggling with their marriage. Marriage is wonderful, so don't give up on yours that soon. I'm going to have my hubby say a few words, maybe an introduction before we get into the conversation.
You wrote a book?
Stop playing.
Your initials is P. Your birth date is when? We've been married. What?
Oh my goodness.
Those are just, as a man being married, is some of the things that you must know about your wife, because
I told you to don't start being
shut
normal.
face
Don't start
if
being
you
normal.
know about her.
Yeah, that's how things are different. They think marriage doesn't work. Of course it works,
So-
right?
Yeah. Oh, and most definitely it works. It works when you put the work in it. You know, you also got to put that work inside of it too. And we keep the third strand. You know, me and her, we keep Christ as our third strand. That's our through some things. You also have to in marriage, as you go along, to know what fight is yours, what fight is hers. One of the first thing what I had to do was to get to know her, know her moods, her swings, and all this stuff. Those are the minefields that I knew not to step on, not to go in that direction. I kept have to change my and knowing when she needs you to just come and talk to her and to comfort her and to know as time go by, these things just naturally you just pick them up. But if you've been with your spouse for a long period of time and you just ignore her, you'll get the shut face. But that as well. But marriage is a great institution. I'm glad I'm glad it happened to me, because I was on a journey to look for a wife at a certain time of my life, and I said, okay. I started writing down what did I want in a woman and what the things I was expecting from a woman. I wrote these things down, and it was, oh man, you be seeing these real beautiful women, and you start saying, "No, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that one, don't want that one." But it was a one day in church. I was in the back, and she came back there. She had this book, and she just put it on her shoulder, kind of like so that I could read what it said. And when I read it, I said, "Oh, we should have coffee one day." You know, and from I didn't know she wanted my number and everything right there, but I just waited until the next time. She was upset because I didn't take the number.
Right, made me wait a whole week.
And we got together. I think it was it 6 months?
We were married. About 6 months.
Yeah, about later. 6 months later we were, and here we go. What? 15, 16, 17 years later, we still here. The best thing I find in a marriage is laughter. When you with your try to not to go out with your wife. You know what I mean is go out with your best friend. You know, go out with your buddy, and when you do that, you have just some awesome time. You know, leave that hard working person at home and take your best friend and your out and just go enjoy. Your marriage was just, man, you have a great, awesome time.
Annie, what are you gonna share of your marriage, Annie?
Oh, I better keep that quiet.
Like, well, when they finish lying.
Eddie.
I would share. I would know. I think I like many of the things you said, and Keith, for sure, right? I think getting to know each other is so important to I think that's the only way you're going to become friends, right? You have to take the time to get to know each other, and that can be a long time.
Exactly.
But for you two, it's quite nice. It sounds like it was quite quick. You got married quickly. Considering, But look, Laverne, you're on your 17 years. The fact that Keith remembers any dates at all, that's a blessing, I tell you. You never know. I'm sure you do know that already, right? As a man, I don't remember the dates. I'm like, what?
Annie, it's all the time. It's all the time, Annie.
I can't even tell you what date we got married. I'm being honest.
I remember birth dates. Yeah, that's
right. So that's one of the things that I have to recognize and understand. The dates he does not remember. So sometimes it's annoying to me. Like today, I get a text about Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm like, it's not today, it's tomorrow.
That man is gold, Dusty.
That was a funny moment.
My wife ain't getting no Happy Valentine's, nothing. It's another day. It's gonna go past very quickly. Not before, not after.
Annie, for me, marriage for me is about the commitment.
Yes, I agree entirely. I know. Look,
it's a commitment because 17 years with Keith has not always been easy. It hasn't. But we've had to understand that we're committed to this relationship.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
There have been times when we struggle with whether it's with finances or with anything else. But at the end of the day, we have each other's back.
Yeah.
So that's where the commitment comes in. What he wants is what I want.
We're
on the same team. We're playing the same game.
Yeah, and I think Michael asked, "What's a winning team?" I think that's it right there, right? Being together, come hell or high water.
Exactly.
I think we're living in an age where I think increasingly people think the grass is green on the other side. I can just swipe left or swipe right on my relationships. I've been married 33 years. Sorry. I agree with you entirely. It's not easy, but it's a choice, and it takes work every day. But Keith knows what I know. And he said it like in case you missed it. And let me welcome a few more people. Michelle Ramos, welcome. So love the visible alignment and playfulness. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Michelle.
what I'm glad you're here. Felipe is here as well. So the HR genius, the people in business genius, totally. Every night, if he involves people, he knows it. Coaching, management, leadership, everything that involves to get the most out of people in a business, he knows. Do connect with him. Make a point of going to the comments afterwards, the comments on the event page, and connect with people in there. That's you, Keith, as well. Do you have a LinkedIn account, Keith? You're gonna say no, you ain't got a LinkedIn account, are you? I'm scared.
LinkedIn account.
Oh, yes, I do be seeing.
Like he don't be on it too often, but
now the world knows you're here, Keith. Come on now.
I'm gonna make sure you get connected, Annie.
Yeah, I've got to see you more for sure. Got to see you more.
Yeah.
Sandra, we are best friends.
Absolutely.
We are.
Hey, Sandra, happy to have you, Sandra.
Selena as well. I mentioned earlier, right? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. For those who got the link, you want to come and share with us, do come on stage. So Felipe, Michelle would love to connect with you. Yeah, Michelle would love to connect with you. Even that this is slow, right? Like I say, go to the comments and connect. That's where you find people and those who comment, and you see who they are. Click on their profile and then comment, and then kind of connect from there. Send a connection request. See, anyway, like I was saying, Keith knows what I know, right? Which is that the trick, apart from being happy and being friends and laughing together, it is about knowing what's hers and leaving that well alone. And I do my thing. I leave my wife in her happiness. I get criticized for what I'm saying, which is I'm very good. It took me years to learn to say, "Yes, darling, you're right," and then keep quiet.
The YD, I call it YD. Yes, dear.
That's half the trick, right? That is half the trick. Sandra, I can't see you.
That's the to go to.
That's what buys you peace and quiet and a good night's sleep. Maybe I said I've learned.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned being present, actually taking time out to do things. But I guess I'm not that good. I don't really spend time doing that. Sandra, I don't know where you are. Sandra, you're not here. You're not here. Oh, you are. No, Michelle's here. Sandra, you're not here. I don't know what happened. I'll send you the link. I can't see you, Sandra. I really can't. If I could, I'll bring you up, right? But I think being present is a thing. The things you can do together. If you want to do, I don't like doing things. I like to, but she doesn't like doing things. She goes shopping. I'm like, no thanks. She goes for a walk. I'm like, nah. I give that a miss, thanks.
You can't say no to everything.
You do you. That's just not my thing. No, but when we are in the same space, I think it's important to be present, right? To actually be there, not thinking about work. To actually be there and pay attention. I think being present is so important. I think that's where half the answer is. So when I was younger, I would be thinking of me all the time. And then I go downstairs and see the family, see the kids, and I'm still thinking of I've still got my stresses from work. And then of course you take it on. You try and take it out on them, and then they react. I'm like, why are you lot so angry? What's wrong with you lot? It took me a long time to realize it wasn't them, it was me. So I'm trying to say that it took me a long time to realize. Just when I go down, I leave my phone behind. I go down. I cheer myself up before I go downstairs. Again, I used to think before it's for them to cheer me up. I'm like, no, that's not how it really works, right? So for me, I got to be happy. Right. She's got to be happy, and the twain meet, and then we're both happy. But so when I was younger, I used to think she has to do to make me happy. I'm like, leave me alone. I'm happy enough, thanks. So these are lessons I think we can all learn. It'd be nice to know what you two think. So what does Michael say? Why is Amy talking about night sleeping? Yeah, and I'm nocturnal. I'm up all night. I like to sleep. Again, it's about peace and quiet for me. Yeah, well, I work better at night. I always have done. Sandra, I can't see you. I don't know where you've gone to the wrong studio. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. Let me bring Michelle up. Let me bring her so that you can have a conversation with Michelle. Michelle, there's a lag somewhere in the line. So do bear with us. Michelle, what do you want to share? You're on mute. You're on mute. Michelle, you're on mute. Share with us. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
No problem.
Excellent. What do you want to share with us?
Oh. There, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, I just can't hear you guys. There we go. Hold on, I can't hear you guys. All right.
We're not speaking. We're not saying much. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No, now you're on mute.
You're muted again, Michelle.
Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute again. You're on mute.
Can you hear me, Michelle?
Mute. You're muted. Microphone. Yes. Do the microphone thing. The internet is playing with us today, right? Sandra, I'm going to send you the link.
Frozen right now.
Yeah. Right. Unmute, please.
Okay,
Unmute.
Michelle, you're back, but you're muted.
Yay.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Superb. Yeah.
It shows I'm not muted.
It's fine. It's fine. Talk to us. No, don't press anything. Now you've muted again. Yes, that's fine.
Are you guys are crossing over? I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Sandra, you're not on the backstage here. You're backstage somewhere, and that's not here. I need to send you the link again so we can hear you. Anyway, Laverne, what are your top lessons?
Yeah, so one of the things that I find that marriage couples or marriage relationships struggle with is effective communication, misunderstandings, those little things that one person says and the other interprets it differently and just blows it all out of proportion. Like those little things for us, especially, we've had issues with dealing with that. So that's something that definitely needs to be worked at. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a skill that has to be learned. Communication is vitally important. Without that communication, then a whole lot of things gonna go wrong, Annie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
So,
Are you
so that
are you
has
agreeing?
been you're frozen.
No, I'm all right. Keith, are you agreeing? Communication, misunderstandings are very easy.
Yeah. Yep.
And then that one, I know he always sometimes talk about the one word answers.
Yeah. I do everything to try not to get that from the first time I see her and put a smile on her face. Let me make sure that, she hears me, because I cannot handle the one word thing. Babe, how you
Really?
doing?
That's when the one, because when you hear the one word answer, then something's wrong.
Yeah, that's what
Something's
I most
wrong.
definitely know something
So
wrong.
that's the communication right there.
And then I go through my whole day like, did I miss something? Did I what's going on here? What's
Absolutely, Michelle.
I'll be a wreck.
Michelle, I totally agree. Comprehension is so much more important, because when you understand, it doesn't make sense. You could be communicating all you want. If that person doesn't understand you, then they're not going to get the message. So I totally agree, Michelle.
But I think a lot of this comes down.
Oh, the other Michelle is ready?
Yeah, I think it comes down to maturity, though. I think it takes maturity. I think when we're younger, I don't think we didn't. It's hard to learn the lessons when you're young. It's as you get older, the longer you're together, the more you realize what cements you together, right? Yeah, and communication, yes, but I think it probably comes down to that commitment.
Sometimes if she's upset with me, yeah.
I apologize. I'm back. You guys were crossing over because I had too many things open. That was my fault. I'm learning technology as I'm learning about love and marriage. So at least I'm learning everything at one time, like in a circle, and connecting it all, right? I don't know. But anyways, I'm back. And you two make me want to get married again. Because I don't know if we didn't really get to live together. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because of his job. And so we never built a marriage ever. And that's why we got a divorce. It was nothing bad on either one of us. So I enjoyed learning from you, because who wants to go through life not having a partner? I just need to learn how to do it, since it's not that my first one failed. It didn't fail. We just didn't get to learn about each other because of him always having to be gone. And that's not failing at all for either one of us, because we're both great people. And so thank you for teaching me now that I can, because I honestly didn't think I could love again and get married until I met you guys. You guys are pretty funny and cool. I like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And that's one of my big perks of marriage too. Like, I love knowing that I have that support. I love knowing that I have somebody I could, at the end of a work day that's hard and tough, I come home. Sometimes I cry. Like, depend on my day. It's good knowing that you have someone to come home to, someone to support you, encourage you, uplift you. And even when you don't feel like doing stuff or going to work, or feel like everything is just hard, like, he just encourages me and reminds me that I got this, I can do this. So, and the security, I love being married because of all those little traits. So those are perks to having a wonderful marriage. Now, again, it's not perfect, because we do have issues. That's one thing we want to remind everybody who is thinking of getting married. No, we're not saying it's all 100% all the time. No, it's not. No, it's not. But at the end of the day, we know where a foundation is, and we come back to that.
See, and that's beautiful.
Michelle, I didn't hear you.
Years apart. We didn't get to see each other for like years apart. So it was like we built different lives without each other. Like, I was taking the kids to soccer and stuff like that. So you build a different life, and then all of a sudden you come together and you're both like, yeah, so, and yeah, this is what I'd like.
No, I can understand what you're saying. You see, that time apart. And I think I struggle with it, to be fair. I wonder what you think, Laverne and Keith. If I say, people wonder, wherever I go in the UK, I will go back home at night, and people are like, Eddie, you're mad. You're across the country. Just get a hotel. I'm like, no, I'm going home. I don't like to be away from it. I don't like to be. I like the comfort of home. I like the, I like I do like my family. So I like the peace and the security, the comforts of being at home. And I just won't be anywhere. I'll drive to Scotland and back. They're like, Eddie, just stay. I don't care if I'm driving 16 hours of my day. That's life, right? Of course. And I make sure I got a nice car to do it with, though. So I'm not slumming it on the roads. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying driving, to be fair. But I do love being.
Yeah, when he was in the States, don't ever think that he wasn't home. Of course he was. I mean, we had fun, but when you're on different continents and stuff like that for 2 years at a time, he had to adapt to his way of living, and I had to adapt being alone and raising 3 kids. So there wasn't animosity or anything like that. You just, honestly, we fell out of love before we were able to fall in love. And then after that, it was kind of like we both started our own lives. We had gotten older, and it was just like we didn't hate each other. It was a very simple, even with the kids, when he would, hey, yeah, actually I haven't talked to him in years, but he would like text me or email me, hey, put her on the plane. Yeah, and we would have our daughter on the plane within 24 hours, flying all the way over to the East Coast, because we trusted each other. I mean, we didn't get a divorce because it was no trust. We just didn't, we grew apart, and that was okay with both of us. If that makes sense. And yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes that happens, Michelle. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens. But both people, once they decide that this is the path that they have to go on, then sometimes that's what you have to do.
Yes, and I don't feel it was a bad thing for either one of us. I mean, we're both still beautiful souls. He's doing great. Our kids are great. So, in our situation, it was a win-win. Does that make sense? I would have held him back, and he would have held me back. And it's not because we wanted to do that. It's now, it was a win-win in our situation. There was no bad feelings. We took the kids out for lunch after we signed divorce papers. I mean, we never made it. I know, right? It was like Olive Garden one last time. And so no one was really ever affected, well, I mean, they were affected, but we didn't let our situation ever affect the kids. It was never just like child support. No, keep it. He needed to start his life over and everything and make his own family. And I really believe in those values. And I know that's crazy, but I don't feel they're wrong. Am I wrong?
Of course, you're not wrong, Michelle. Of course, you're not wrong. Sandra, I found you. I don't know. I was sending the wrong link out. I don't know how I was sending the wrong link. Don't ask me. Something. So I don't know what happened. Eventually, I sent you the right link. That's why you were here, Sandra. Michelle, please.
Welcome, Sandra.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been trying to get up here. My best friend is not letting me in.
I see.
I don't know
So
what
glad
happened.
you made it.
I suddenly looked. I suddenly saw that the first link was wrong. But that, I think it was linked to your room, Sandra, earlier. No, don't ask me how I did that. I was copy and pasting, but this time I thought let me just get the proper link and send it to you. I'd say you're here. It's never intentional. Of course not. I want to hear more people's voices. Right? Thanks for persisting as well. I appreciate that.
I want to say hi, Michelle. You look beautiful.
Sandra, hi, I love you. And you know what? You remember how you said the other day, let's bridge that gap? You remember that? We did that today between me and you with just words. You know, different meaning because we're both from, different countries. And all right, we use a lot of slang over here. I don't know. But thank you for bridging the gap with me, because what you said made sense after I changed it into Michelle kind of language,
No, that is, no, thank you for that feedback. It's amazing. But going back to the rune, right? Because I just want to say hi to you here. I had this opportunity. And go back to the rune, I was listening to you about communication, right? And to this topic that we're talking today, and it made me think about one of the important things that I learned about communication that can be helpful is that, sometimes we don't know that people do have their own communication systems. It's part of their person, their individuality, right? Some people is visual, some people is kinesthetic, some people is auditory. Hold on, did I say that correctly? The word auditory, right? So, and what happened is that when we don't understand that, we feel that the person doesn't understand us, right? And I learned that in my NLP trainings. And it's very interesting because when I learned that, now I understand better. Some people, you could be telling them something and it's just not the language that they speak, right? Because if somebody is very visual, if you use that kind of language with them, it's like you, or even when you meet somebody new and you speak that same, for example, visual language, the person feel like they have known you forever. Like they say, I feel like I know you from before, right? It's just because there is this alignment with the two language that they speak. But when the opposite happens, it's also you feel like I don't know if I can get along with this person. And it's because of the communication system that each person uses. And in the partnership, when you with your husband or wife, what happens is sometimes some people is one person could be as more abstract and the other is more literal, right? Like for example, I remember, and I understand this now better. I remember I will say, I'm thirsty. You're not asking for water. You're just saying you're thirsty, right? So if the person use the literal language, if that's what the person's system is, that partner will do nothing because you're not telling me you're thirsty. And sometimes we act like we want the other person to know what we're asking, but that person doesn't understand that that system is not what they use. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very important.
Thank you see, that's why I love you, Sandra. You figure out a way to bridge the gap to even communicate with me, and that means a lot to anyone, and it means a lot to anyone. So thank you for being you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to share that with
Sandra, I
you.
totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sandra.
You're welcome. No, I was very interested when you said
That is so
communication.
true,
It just
because
brought that to
sometimes
me.
I'm sorry, Sandra. I was just being a man. What did you say?
but sometimes I feel like sometimes it seems like one person expects the other person to read their mind without verbalizing or communicating in a way that they could understand. We sometimes have to, it's as if you expect me to read your mind to know what you're thinking. So communication is definitely really important. And like you said, we communicate differently. So we have to understand each other and recognize that their way of communication may be a little bit different to ours. But as long as we understand that, as long as we understand them, then we can move and we can act on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
see,
Just
that's what
learning.
I
Beautiful,
didn't,
beautiful. Yeah.
and I honestly didn't realize that until you guys.
Yeah. You want to say that again?
I honestly didn't realize that until you guys said it. I mean, that, I guess, yeah, I'm that type of person. You gotta paint a picture or something like that, or here's your sign. I don't know, maybe it's because of, how my brain's wired, but you explaining that and saying that to me, because I have, I have done that. And when I catch myself afterwards, I don't know what to say. Like, you can say sorry so many times, am I right, to a person before they're like, I'm done with you. And so that's my barrier, is I keep forgetting to say, I don't understand, and can we talk about this or something like that, or they get flustered with me, and then it's just then it just kind of turns into a mess after that. But there is definitely a language barrier, and you know what, honestly, I didn't know there was a language barrier until
Even when you speak the same language.
until I started hanging out with you beautiful souls, and then I was just like,
It's
how rude.
You have to give your spouse a little space.
Yeah.
You have to give your spouse a little space, because you still, even though you got to know each other, there's still more to learn about one another. What I mean by giving a little space, because we're built different. My wife would come in and want something done, and she wanted it done like right away. And where I have to sit there and say, okay, well, I heard you, but let me figure out how I'm going to do this. I was supposed to put a lock on the door, and like 3 months later, I'm just getting around to it.
Just done today.
Because I had to go, at my time, at my pace.
Yeah.
And the thing that
and she just learning that, not my fault, it's a man's, just being a man. I got to see, because I can't do it on a work day. I have to do it on a day off. So can you put this up for me? Okay, wait till Thursday. Because
communication.
Once you start a project, you need the whole day. You just can't get on the project, then you got to go to work. Because when I come back, it's going to be worse, because I'm not going to want to do it. So it's really tough. And the thing about when you're meeting someone, you have, what you got, the infatuation, then you go through your friendship, but people in between will say, oh, I love that person. No, you haven't gotten to love. Love is the very last thing on the totem pole, because when you get up there to where love is, you're not going to like love, because you've been lied to. Oh, love's supposed to be this, love's supposed to be that. No, love is, are you there when I lose my job? Are you there when I ain't come home at night? you know, and we still are able to come together. You know, love is the last thing, and if you can get through love, because you feel no more infatuations, you have no more of that. We have just started doing this thing where we go out. We pick a date in a month. You know, 1 month she do it, next month I do it. It's called, what is it?
It's date night. Monthly date night.
Date night. You know, so we go out. We will pick a restaurant, or we'll do something at home together. You know, because it's become a thing where you watching your shows, she watching her shows. It's something like what Sinbad was talking about on his stand-up show, when he was saying, you going out? He said, I never did want to go out, you know, record our show. It was a lot, you know. So
it's the coming together. That's what it is. It's the coming together.
Yeah, but if you can make it to love, and then deal with love and each other through that, that's love.
Yeah.
Dude, looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about?
It's a little delayed.
Yeah, go, Sandra.
No, I sometimes I notice a little delay in the right in the video. But yeah, no, it's true. Love is the romantic love. I guess it's two kind of loves, right? Romantic love, that everything is perfect the way I want it. And then there is the, I guess I call it real love, right? What you're saying. Are you there for me when things are hard? You know, do you like the real me when I'm going through something hard? Are you gonna stay there?
I call that. Yeah, I call that true love. It's just two different words. I call it true love, and you called it the real. But yeah, it's like both of you said, and yeah, exactly, Sandra. Sorry,
Yeah, it's love. You don't run from it. You deal with it and get through it, and you get stronger.
You know, so I think that the fact. See, the fact is that those who are a winning team will spend a lot longer in the true love phase than in the first love that Sandra talked about. I think people miss that. People miss that bit. They miss that fact. They think it's going to be exciting every day. No, I think it's the other part. It's the security, the peace. Like I talk about peace all the time. So that's what I want. I want peace. I just want to be left alone in my peace. Someone who gets me and leaves me to be me. You know?
One thing that they mentioned at the beginning that I think is very important is when you meet somebody, can you laugh together, right? Like for me, that has been important in my relationship, because even when I'm mad, we ended up laughing, right? So how mad I am about something. So we laugh a lot, and we go through things together, and still when they're hard and we even kind of disagree or fighting about something, we ended up laughing also about that. So humor is important, I think, in a relationship. If you really have fun with the person, it becomes your best friend. You know, it's just I for me, my relationship has been I've been blessed that I find a person that I can laugh with, and we go through hard things, but at the same time we became best friends for each other, that we support each other through the hard times, even when sometimes you know you like other things, but you still love that person in your life.
And that's what I want. I want to surrender to all that. I do. And everything you guys are saying is totally correct. But when you don't know how to do it, you actually have to come, like I'm doing right now, to marriage. marriage therapy, I guess this is what it could be called, to even before you get married. Because honestly, this is what I want, but you've got to learn what it took to get to where you guys are at. Like everybody crawling, it's almost like raising another kid. It is another job. I was very fortunate to babysit for a family that was wealthy, and I will always remember what this was awesome. I was just like, well, like, he works all the time. Do you have to ask him for money? Like, and she turned around and she looked at me and she's like, oh, little Michelle, this is a job. I keep this whole thing going. So when we got married, we decided how much I was worth every month to keep all this going. And they had a 1,200 square foot home, huge ranch, and raising 4 kids. And this woman is she's just, I haven't seen her in years because I'm old now and I don't babysit. I'm not 14, but I mean, she told me that. She goes, don't ever think because he has money that I have money, nor that they have money or this house has money. She goes, but what does have money is everything that we owe to. So I have a job. My job is to keep this all together. I get paid out of the company account and I get to spend my money how I want to. I was like, dang.
That's a clear agreement.
You know, and to me that makes sense though, because that's what she did. She was the mom. She was the perfect mom too. I mean, I can't say she ever did anything wrong. I don't even think she ever cussed, to tell you the truth. And that takes a lot for a woman to do, raising 4 kids and a husband. You know what I'm talking about. Because you husbands like to be like kids, which I think is awesome too, because I like to be like a kid. And I just haven't found anyone that enjoys me being who I am, I guess, and like a kid. And who I have found, there was such a language barrier that, like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, I would still think it was his fault. And honestly, it never was.
I think there is a point to what Michelle's saying, the way Michelle says it. Like for me, anyway, right? I think the first thing I would say is something called the love language. You need to that when you started off, Keith, with you have to get to know your partner really well. I think that you have to know it's about knowing who they are and what they are. Like I said, those are 2 separate things, right? You know, we have to know exactly what makes them tick, what makes them do anything. I think, but that's not as easy as it sounds. That's quite hard, right? And second thing I would say, Michelle, is I think, you know, this marriage thing, I don't know what I would do now. I don't know what I would do now. Could I find another partner? No, I don't think I could. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm saying, but literally, you know, it's very hard to find someone else after you, and after you've been married as long as I have. I don't know what I would do. I wonder what Keith and Laverne think. You know, really, you know, it feels like you've made your choice and this is it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. You know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can't think past him. I can't. Yeah. I can't imagine. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like, but I can't get to that place.
It'll be awful. It'll be bad.
I take her there because it's at times when we're together, and she knows whenever we go out any place, we don't even have to go out. There's no dates, no anything like that. We're just going to the store or going shopping. I just try to keep her off her toes. You know, I just cracking jokes, messing with people, just going around and just saying things to people, and just I that's even brighten up other people days when I just walk by and just say something to them, and I turn around, look at her, she just got a smile on her face like this, or she's laughing, or when I could get her. I really like the ones where I almost get in trouble, where she say I'm almost peeing on myself. I have her laughing so much daily and all the time, you know.
That's a big kid in us, Keith. That's a big kid in men. It's a good thing, right? You know, the big children.
Yeah, it's actually.
Yeah, so something that
and it's a strategy too, because you know when you get home you can take your shoes off and not be bothered.
Yeah, that piece I talked about, my friend. That piece, you know, not someone's gonna say, "Why did you do that?" You're like, "No, leave me alone. I'll do it again tomorrow." Go on, Sandra. Sandra, what are you gonna say?
What it came to mind when you were talking, you both were talking, is that I guess what happened is that it could fail the relationship because we want always somebody to be perfect, right? And there is not a perfect person. Really, perfection doesn't exist, right? We want the other person just to do and say exactly what we want. And the thing that you were saying at the end, that I learned this from my husband, is that even if you leave the person that you already know, at some point you were in love with that person and you start over with another person, at some point that person is not going to be perfect either, because everything that is new is nice and it works perfect. But with time, you really get to know it, and it's going to be the same thing. So you always better do the work that you know, if you have a valuable person with you, do the work that you need to do on yourself and together. Because at times when we are with for a long time with a person, we tend to take things for granted. Like the example that Michelle was saying about this lady, she had an agreement from the beginning, right? She get paid for maintaining, you know, the house, this big house, and the kids, and so she was recognized for that. Because I guess I've never been a stay-home mom, but I imagine how hard that may be, right? Staying home and not really having her independence, making her own money, but doing the work at home is work. And I think she did it right. She had an agreement that needed to be, you know, pay, and with clear agreement at the beginning, then that's what the communication that you guys were saying at the beginning is. Not being afraid, because another thing in marriage is that and I experienced this myself, when you are afraid to share with your partner, your husband, what you really want, and you're not clear, so you just mad that these are not the way that you want, but you know ask clearly, and from the beginning you just nagging and nagging and nagging all the time for something that you want and you haven't expressed clearly or asked for, then start also affecting the relation. When I'm now in this work that I changed my career field, and I was doing something different before, and I never really asked my husband or tell him this is what I want to do. I didn't say that clearly to him. I just started getting my my certification, the first one, because I thought he wouldn't agree with that. It was trainings that are very expensive, and I was investing I had invest every year, and I started doing on my own. And I can't believe when I shared with him, he was all on board with me. Do it, he said. I see how good this has been for you. But I was totally afraid to share with him, because I thought myself he wouldn't agree with this. So it's important to share your passions and what you really want, what light you up, and find that support. So that's what I
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Right. Yeah, are you okay? Laverne, Keith, you feel free to speak.
Thank you, Sandra. Truly things for us to think about. Marriage is about togetherness. It's not me fighting for myself or by myself. It's knowing that you have that person that you could, like you said, share things with. And sometimes when you think it's something that they may not understand or they may not even agree with you on, but still, as a part of a winning team, we have to listen to each other. And like Annie was saying in the beginning too, like actively listening, not in the room hearing, but your mind is someplace else, or trying to watch something on the TV or something, and giving feedback, the support that the other person needs.
Right.
Yeah, she made sure the TV came with a pause button.
Good enough. So Keith is very understanding. And I think for us to, one of the big parts of our marriage is because we're both, even before we got married, we were already Christians. So we knew God. We knew the benefits of having a relationship with God even before we got married. So when we got married, it just made our relationship even better, knowing that God is there to support us and he's rooting for us. So even the same way I look at it sometimes as our Christian race, sometimes we fall down and make a mistake. The same thing happens in marriage. We make mistakes, we go through struggles, sometimes we get down and we feel like we can't do certain things, whatever. But then we know, even if it's something that's beyond us, we don't get it together, then we can look up to him. So yeah, at the end of the day, we have that support together, but we have that higher power that we could together as a winning team, we could turn to, that'll help us through it all.
Look,
That's beautiful.
So one second. Sandra, Elizabeth wants to connect with you. So you two go in the comments and do connect. So you are my two best friends. So you two definitely need to talk.
Amazing. Yes, Elizabeth, of course. I'd love to connect, and I can try to find you now, or just email me, DM me, and let's connect.
If you two don't work it out in the comments, I'll put you two in a group chat. That way you two can say that's probably the easiest thing to do. Then you two can take it from there. And I won't say a word. I'll leave the group when you start talking. Yeah, but I think there's something there, Laverne. And I think I probably go as far as saying it's when you realize perfection is not what you're looking for, that you truly have a marriage that will endure, that will last. Because, like I say, we spend many years doing life together, literally. And most days are not exciting. They're great days because we made them great days. Are you with me? Not because but I'm still me. Keith is still Keith, and Laverne's still Laverne. I'm saying, but we know we know our partners, and we find the peace in being ourselves. Being perfect is never going to happen. It doesn't happen. Like you said, Sandra, it doesn't happen, right? You see, when you think you want perfection, and you realize the other person is human. I mean, it's when we come to accept that human person. And it's not just accept, appreciate them, truly appreciate them. And Laverne said it, and I think it's very easy to miss what Laverne said. I think for me, it's having that care for years, forever, and that care never goes away. That care is, it's when I was younger, I don't think I thought I cared, but now anything to keep her happy is what I'll do, because apart from the DIY Keith, no, I'm slow like you. I'm very slow. Some things I'm like, yes, I would do it. No, I would never do it. I'll pay someone else eventually to do it because I'm not going to do it.
A happy wife, a happy life, Annie.
Nah,
Yeah.
Happy
seriously.
wife, happy life.
And but even sometimes that means doing things yourself. And for me, it's one of the things I'll do for myself is cook. Because I realized she wasn't happy cooking for everyone. She wasn't happy cooking. I've got 3 kids. And she got into the habit of cooking different meals for everyone. I'm like, why are you doing that? Just cook mine. She's like, no, the kids. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll do my own food then, because that keeps it happy. It stops her being stressed out having to do another meal. You know? My son was looking at me the other day. Yesterday, he's like, "Why does she ever cook what I want?" I'm like, "That's not how it works. She's your mother. Do it yourself. If you want happiness for you, and you want her to be happy, do it yourself."
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? I had this picture of marriage. I'm not going. I had a picture. I got that picture off TV. And so,
it's nothing like that, Michelle. It's nothing like what they show you on TV. You know, if I think it was right, it's just not.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to come to marriage counseling, because I want to. Why not learn from the people that have been married the longest how to have a relationship instead of grabbing a picture board and putting it all up there? Tried that. You should have seen the mannequin guy that walked out. It was just like, holy moly, what the hell did you create? I mean, it wasn't realistic. Just like the relationship from the TV wasn't realistic. And I was just like, well, crap. I wasn't raised by my mom and dad. So what do I do? How do I find out? And I was like, oh, hey, let's go to marriage counseling with a whole bunch of married people. And so here we are. It's because I want to learn how to do it. Because you know what? My biggest thing is honestly a verbal bridge with anyone. You can obviously tell how but even with anyone, it's like I look at him and was like, well, what are you really saying? Because usually I interpret everything wrong, and it's the empathy in me, and it's also not the knowing how to. I know how to have a relationship. I know how to take care of. I know what love is. I just didn't know how to bring it all together and realize it's okay. It's a mess.
Yeah, look, I think there's always that you always make a point, Michelle, which I wonder what my 2 superstars think. Again, what I take from you is the fact that you have to. What we do in marriage is what our kids see, and that will determine mainly what they do. What do you think, Laverne? When I say Laverne, I do mean Keith as well.
Well, our son, as he was growing up, I always wanted him to see the both of us. Never just like single parent. I wanted him to see the both of us because we both was taking two roles in his life, and raising him. So what I wanted him to take out of that is to, in his journey, if he grab a spouse, that he will be there for her and for his children.
Yeah, we're trying to be that example so that he could talk about us to his future his future family, like the example that we set. We try to teach him so that he can be that husband, that his father, even better, but be an example to him so that he cannot. It's not just something that he see on TV. It's not just something he see on TV or read in a book or hear about, but he actually could see it. He see us when we're mad at each other, and he would say, Dad, what's wrong with Mom? He might say, I don't know. And same thing, Mom, what's wrong with Dad? I don't know. But he see us at our best, at our worst, and he knows when to give us our space.
Yeah.
If he see one of us upstairs and one downstairs, is like one, like, you know, so he knows it and he understands that this is what happens in marriage. This is the real thing. It's not no like 100% happy all the time. This is the real thing. And so when he goes through life, he'll understand that marriage is what you make it. You got to put work into marriage. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no magic recipe. You got to want to make it work. You got to want to achieve things together.
Yeah, and even at times in our arguments, and I decide to stay downstairs, and I will always come up and kiss her on the cheek before I go back down. You know, because it's things that happen in the moments. You know, the argument or whatever was at a moment. You know, and whatever happens in that moment, give it that space. And it'll work itself out. Because all through my through that time, I'm really not mad at her.
I think that there's a truth there. That I say,
absolutely.
I've learned recently. I say recently, in the last few years now, for the last 3 years. At first, it was a disaster. Not really. We tried, right? I did my best, but now I know. I think, like you're saying, Keith, we don't go to sleep on an argument. But like, maybe it's not we don't go to sleep. It's that we wake up a new day every day and start again on a happy place every day. Even if there's a big argument yesterday, there's really an argument. I'm too tired to argue, right? But literally. Every day is a joy. Every day is like, how are you doing? Really, and we'll start again. When I was younger, you can hold grudges. You can carry on an argument for days. I can't even do 10 minutes of carrying an argument. I'm like, nah, can't be bothered. Let's be happy instead, and then let's find our peace. And that's just that buys you happiness. That's I guess that I didn't have years ago. Michelle, I'm going to come to you. Michelle Ramos, you haven't spoken yet. I will come to you. If you two want to comment on what I said, you feel free. Yes, I'll give you a chance. This slow connection thing is a bit crazy, right? It takes a long while.
You guys were posing like models, like the perfect picture of how you guys are right now. Someone's freeze that frame for them right there, because that's the money shot right there. That was the money
1980
shot.
glamour shots.
Oh, look at that. That was the money
like one
shot.
Of those 1980 glamour shots where they strike those poses at Olin Mills.
Oh, I loved it. You guys look beautiful. I love it though, because it was just like he was just so relaxing. That's what I'm building up to, learning from you guys. Is you guys didn't even try to look like that. You guys it was picture perfect for like both.
What you don't see is us poking each other in the gut out here.
Behind the scenes.
It's true.
Yes.
It is true that there is you do look like a wonderful couple. You see, I tell you what makes it even better, my friend, which most of you don't know if you haven't seen the book. When they renew their vows, the big picture that goes with it in the book. I don't like pictures in books, by the way, especially adult books. But yeah, I'm saying they look happy there too. Tell us about it. Why not?
You got pictures in the book?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Annie's referring to my book. This is a part of our book launch, and one of the chapters talks about marriage, because that was one of the goals that I had since I was a little child. And so the picture of my island, St. Kitts, 2 years ago, and we renewed our vows under the beach. So I do have a few pictures of that in this book as well. So I'm sharing that with you. So now, Michael, I see you have a question. Why do people get married? I really believe that people get married for different reasons. So when you go into marriage, it's individual. It's why are you going into marriage? Because not everybody wants to get married. So when you decide to get married or go down that road, you must have a reason. It could be for security, it could be for companionship, it could be for a whole lot of other reasons. And for those same reasons why some people choose not to get married. So you have to decide for yourself if that's something that you want to do and why. Everyone has their own why. What do you think, Meg?
Yeah.
Keith, what's your take, Keith? No, so Keith, why did you choose to get married? Why are you married?
Well, yeah, mainly because of support. You know, it's my reasons was different because of I can go back to being a teenager being in a first relationship and then getting your heart broken. And then, you know, it's like, okay, that can't be like what happens, you know, that you can't have that. I always was like, what did I do wrong? And then through other relationships, I really wasn't feeling the person. I really wasn't, you know, wanting to be involved with the person, anything. We were just together, you know. And then I went to another town, and when I came back, I wanted to be married. I wanted to find the right person. I knew the person wouldn't be perfect, but I knew that I could find the right person. You know, then for one thing, while I was away, it was time of just being lonely. You know, I'm going to movies by myself. I'm going to church by myself. I'm doing a lot of things, and a lot of good things was going on in my life, and I had nobody to share it with. You know, and so when I came back, I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what type of woman I'm going to look for. And I never knew that the woman that God had for me was from another country. You know, and that's one good thing about making Laverne mad is when just to hear her fuss at me in her home language. You know, and just to hear her just, you know, talk Ireland to me, you know. Yeah, but getting married it's a lot of fun. But if you're not built for it, then I think Paul said to Thomas or Timothy, you know, what did he say? Go get married or something like that. But if you're not built for it, I wouldn't recommend you do it, because it will be a lot of heartache for you because you just didn't have what it takes to be married, or God just doesn't, you know, have that for you.
Because marriage is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to say that everybody must get married. It's a path. It's something that you have to choose for yourself.
Yeah.
And recognize that it's not going to be something that's going to be easy. If you want it to be successful, you have to actually put the work into it. Mm-hmm. You have to compromise. It's not about just you anymore. You have to think about somebody else. I think about it sometimes as a parent to a child. Especially when you get birth to your first child, it's no longer just you. You have to forget about what you want and think about what's best for the child. In terms of the marriage, it's what's best for the relationship. So there's a lot of give and take. It's a coming together, compromise. I give and you get. You give and I get.
It's a business.
It is. It really
one
is.
person can't be in it all by himself.
You know, so I like Michael's next answer. Michael says really great answers. I think loneliness and largely religious expectations why people get married. But I think there's something in what you two are saying. You know, you have to be willing to grow, to become a better person, become a part of a two, a part of a family, really, to make marriage work. You know, if you're not willing to evolve, you know, saying through the years I've learned, you know, I've changed. Even my wife said the other day, she said, "You've changed." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I've changed." You know, because who I was when we got together is not who I am now. No, who I was 5 years ago is not who I am now. I say we have to be willing to keep evolving and getting better. You know, being more caring, being more considerate, being more, you know, to adapt to your role, even being a better parent together. That takes doing. Like, not everyone's born. Not everyone's willing to do that transformation, that learning. I said that's truly what makes a marriage work with you. You know, look, I can see I got two. I got Michelle. I got Joni. If we carry, we'll be here all day, right? You know, really. So let's hear from those two. Then let's see where we get to. We've got time. Then we'll come back to for more conversations. Michelle. Oh no, Michelle. I took you off stage accidentally. Talk to us, Michelle. What's your take on anything we talked about marriage?
I think you're absolutely right. I believe marriage is
not you, Michelle. Michelle Ramos. The
you
public
gotta
menace.
say one or two.
My bad.
One,
Forgive me. My
two.
bad. Forgive me. My bad. I take the blame completely. Sorry. I'll come back to you, Michelle. All right.
I
Public
almost
menace.
thought it was going to be like when I signed on. When I signed on, I didn't know there was a page open on YouTube with your videos auto playing in the background. And I'm hearing your voice, but it's not this live. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that was a bad start. Anyway. Oh man.
My bad.
Great.
It's my fault. I sent the wrong link to everyone.
No, I meant just now when I did get in, you was still like your audio is in the background, auto playing a different YouTube elsewhere. It was great. I want to celebrate Mr. Kika. Like, this is so great. So I'm Miss. There's never been a marriage, never been married, and I believe it's done for one of two reasons. It's either contractual. And it's like basically it's a business plan. It's financially, secured type motivation, or there's the spiritual soulmate type alignment, and it's intimate type things. At least for myself personally, like those are kind of the only two avenues I think I would go down at this avenue in life to get a partner. But I like some of the things they were saying, with one of them being that how they're showing their, son what to do and things, for that nature. But I think it's more important, what wasn't said is they're also showing their son what not to accept, what he won't tolerate in a marriage, what the respect looks like, how to draw the boundaries, so I think that's a beautiful example of showing them, even when you become a man, there's gonna be times you shut up, or there's gonna be times you stand your ground, what to take. And it's beautiful because you show him who to be, but you also show him what his worth is and what he deserves. I give my daughter flowers. I want her to, grow up believing you deserve to be given flowers all the time. I set the intention, myself and her for himself. Kudos to you guys for that. And another thing I heard y'all say was that, it's the giving and the taking. And one thing I've learned, and this isn't even just marriage, this is probably any relationship you go into in your life is going to be that maybe some days I got to be 70% because you only got 30% to give. But maybe I only got 40% to give today, so I need you to give 60% tomorrow. You know, and finding that balance, but then respecting one another through that, that's beautiful too. Like that is, I've learned through many trials and tribulations that person is a rare find, because some people can't pick up the weight to carry, like they can't even carry their own weight. How are they going to help you carry your weight? I mean, let's just be real. And the last thing I'll leave it with is that I love happy wife, happy life. I love that, but I am a supporter of happy spouse, happy house. So I'll leave it with that.
I love that, Michelle. I absolutely love it. Happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Joe, are you able to share now?
Joe.
Okay.
Hi. Oh my goodness, I feel like this is I've been oversharing the last.
Hi, it's so good to have you back here, Joe. Hi.
Hi. So I think that what you guys are, the message you guys are sending out is a really wonderful message. It really is. And I came from a great family, and my parents loved each other so much, and it is a joy to see. You know, I always, my sisters and I always are like, you know, if we're all on the edge of a cliff, you know, and someone had to be pushed off, my mom might push my dad and then like bundle all of our kids together and save us. And then my dad would just push all the 3 kids off and save my mom, because he loves her so much, and it is a joy to see. But in the same respect, I married 9 years and then divorced. I've been divorced 9 years. And so I come from a very opposite point of view about marriage, because it was a total fail for me. And we are not the greatest of co-parents. And I don't blame that on myself. But and I really do wish that, but I have also, like, I've dated over the years and I've been proposed to over the years, and that whiff of desperation, like someone just wants to like nail it down, so they don't have to look anymore, it is so unattractive. And so I haven't gotten remarried, and maybe to my detriment, but you know, it also, it feels like a little unauthentic when someone's like, "Oh, I'm just lonely, so I'll settle for you." I think it's really is hard. It's hard to kind of like conceptualize like sharing a life with someone who is like, maybe will fall in love, like really fall in love after a few years, but so I haven't made that leap. And I really do agree with the message that to show your kid what that means. I obviously I didn't follow in my parents' footsteps, but it really meant something to me. And I'm sure it means something to your son. And I'm not sure, is it your son together? Is it, or it's both your son, right? Biologically.
Yes, our son.
Your son. Okay. And so it's like, he just like has all the love from two parents together, and I'm assuming no siblings, but it's such a really a gift. And I'm a little envious, I'm not gonna lie, but I am also not gonna settle. So anyways, congratulations to you guys. And I'm gonna stop before I say more about how terrible divorce is.
Thank
I
you,
think you did
Joni. Thank you so
awesome.
much.
That was perfect. I
Appreciate-
couldn't imagine just getting married because you're lonely. I mean, you're gonna be lonely with that person, aren't you? I picked you because I was lonely. So
Like,
come here and be
it's
that
nice
gesture.
Well, it's nice to have a companionship, but marriage is so much more than companionship. It's it's a sexual energy. It's really wanting to commit to that person. And if like some of those things are missing, I don't know, the older I get, the more I feel like it is harder to find. So,
oh no, I don't care how old I get. I'm going to get true love. I mean, that's just all there is to it. It's like I'm on a mission.
I hope you do, girl. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't know about me, but I hope you do. I find a lot of love in my children and dogs. But
You know what?
keep looking.
I always used to think it was just a piece of paper, and then I thought about it and I was like, no, it's because I'm mad and I don't know how to do it. So it's not just about a piece of paper.
No.
I want that. I want my soulmate. I want my love, because you know what? I want someone to hold my hair up that loves me if I'm throwing up.
If you're throwing up.
Yeah, but she don't know.
And those are beautiful things to want too. I love it. Because you know what you want. You know what you want.
Joanny, I just want to say something.
Yeah, it's.
Hi.
I do. That's true love. Is that is.
It's a good
And
thing.
The thing
it's
is,
definitely rare, but it's a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely is. And the thing is, I love because you see the person for who they are. When you first meet and you first start the relationship, this is a brand new person that you have to share everything with. Especially if you're just living with this person for the very first time in your life. You're sharing your whole life, everything with that person, a complete stranger. But when you have that love, when that love is there, like it may sound cliche, but when they say love conquers all, I believe it does. At the end of the day, you come back to that love. In spite of the issues and the arguments and the challenges and the fights and all that, you come back to love. As you age, hopefully it's not about the beauty, because the beauty will fade. And a lot of things, finances change. You know what I mean? Like family dynamics change, but as long as you keep that love.
When you're dealing with the true love, like I said earlier, that love comes.
When you have that love and you keep you shape that love, you develop that love, you do things to make it stronger. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen on its own. You have to actually be intentional about, this is what I want. This is what we want. So for you to be on the winning team, as we're talking about, you have to be motivated. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but you have to be intentional about us staying together. And if this is what we have to do, maybe you may even need to go to a therapist, whatever it takes. Sometimes time apart, sometimes just hearing somebody else to listen to the issues or the struggles, the challenges, to get a different perspective. Sometimes you have to do that. But at the end of the day, the intent is to stay together, is to grow together, get old together. Then it could be done. It could be done. Absolutely.
And I'm going to get it.
Don't nobody want us.
Exactly. You know what? That's what I want, though. I don't feel I'm old. I might look like it right now, like.
we don't think that.
That is funny, boo.
But I think that's a good place to start. Like I said, for you already identified that this is what you want. A lot of people go through life and don't know what they want. They're just drifting here and just going through phases. But when you already recognize that this is what you want, then you're gonna do what you have to do to get to that place.
Exactly.
That's what I really
and
believe.
this is what I want, and I'll fight for it and get it until I do, because who doesn't want love? I couldn't imagine it being any other way. And you know what, you guys, our power just went out, and I'm gonna totally just lose you in a second because our power just went out.
But I love, before you go, Michelle, I love that you keep the belief. Keep that belief.
Yes, absolutely.
That's not a belief, it's a feeling.
Okay, the feeling too.
I don't know, maybe a belief.
Yes.
I feel empty without it, because I want someone to share my happiness, my pain, everything with me, because who doesn't want that? Right?
Mhm.
And I want to be able to share their happiness and their pain with them too. That's what makes people entwined. I've seen it. I want it. I've seen, you guys have showed it to me, Sandra, you, everybody. So yeah.
So Michelle, just continue to be you, Michelle. Continue to be you. And the love that you have for yourself is going to shine elsewhere. And that person will be connected. They'll be drawn to you. Just continue to be you.
Yeah, someone that loves you just how you are. That's it.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So Sandra, you're about to go. Yeah, Sandra's about to go.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I love you guys.
Let's connect after this call.
Yeah, please go to the comments page and connect.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Sandra. Take care.
Bye,
Thank
Evie.
you so much. Take care. Right. My friends, oh no, Michelle's power did run out, as she said.
Yeah.
What can I say? Right, my friends, I'll give you one last question. I think you two have been brilliant. They've done nearly 2 hours. So I don't know what Lavelle was thinking, what we're going to talk about today, but here we are, right?
Yes, here we are.
So Michael's thrown another big one in the mix. As Michael, I told you he asks questions, didn't I? He always asks questions, and his question is simply, what happens when you lose the ability to communicate properly? With together. What if you get tired of over communicating?
So some over communicate. So the ability to communicate properly, that's so important, Michael, that you have to actually take actions to that. And like I mentioned, if it takes you seeing a marriage counselor or a therapist, an outside party, someone that could actually listen and give feedback and help you get through that, then that's what you'd have to do. If you lose that ability to communicate properly, then you definitely would need to do that.
Michael, I mean, there is a time where intimacy, it can override that. Like, you can just stop having to think about communicating or arguing, and that's a really important part of marriage, I believe. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think there's an ability to, if you are effectively communicating and you've been doing it properly, I don't think that's an ability to lose that. I think it will only strengthen throughout the time. So if there is a ability issue in comprehending what I'm saying, then maybe we need to revisit the fact that who we was when we got together isn't who we are today, and it's definitely not who we will be tomorrow. So are we evolving and aligning correctly as we keep going forward? I think that that kind of goes back to the beginning where I had messaged and you said, you know, like, I used to really think communication was everything. And it took a lot of real life lessons, hard learned, that it's really the comprehension. You know, like, I can't be responsible for what you don't understand, but I also would rather ask too many questions to over understand the situation than not have asked enough questions to be the fool of the situation.
Yeah, no, again, Laverne and Keith, if you want to respond, feel free.
This one.
Now that one's on your ability to communicate.
Yeah.
It's like communication. That's a two-way street. If you lose the ability to do that, you know, that's something that you have to work on within yourself, because your spouse might not say anything waiting for you, or they might be doing all the talking. You know, but if you just lost the ability just to communicate with them, that's something, to me, that something's going on with you.
I think I agree with
Really
Michelle.
good response. It's a really good response.
No, it really is. I think the communication is not the issue. As Michelle said, I think it's more a breakdown in the relationship entirely, you know, because, you know, I think, you know, where it works, where marriage works, there's probably not as much communication as people think, because you know each other, you understand each other. Back to Keith's point earlier, you must get to know your partner. You must get to know your partner inside out. You know, really. And when we do that, we'll talk less, because we know what the other one's going to say. I can probably tell you what my wife said about anything, which I'm sure you two can too, right? You know what the other one's going to say, regardless, right? And so you go. I'm saying, you know, communication. You know, it's more about the care. Again, I think Michelle's point is, I think it's important. It's more about being caring, and when you care, communication is not the problem. You know, communication is not the problem when someone stops caring, and someone stops being committed to the cause, to the relationship. That's just my take. You know, because I think, you know, talking is fun half the time. You should be, right? Anyway, Laverne and Keith, we kept you long enough. 2 hours.
And one last thing too, like Joe said, or maybe Michelle said it too, there are different ways to communicate. So it's not just focus on the verbal running your mouth and saying stuff. Like, you can communicate in so many different ways. So there really is no way for you to not be able to communicate. Maybe you need to change.
I just wanted to highlight.
You said your ways that you communicate.
You say you kiss her cheek. You might go back downstairs, but you kiss her cheek. And I love that. Like, I might go to bed upset, but I ain't gonna go to bed mad, and we ain't going to bed angry. Like, I love you. Here you go. We'll resolve this in the morning. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but sometimes she had that stuff on her face, that sleepy stuff.
Lord, that was on purpose. That's on purpose, okay? It's intention. Like, she knows the kiss is coming. That's I'm still mad at you. Get your pack. Right, go get your pack.
This is the unfiltered stuff right here. Oh my gosh. Annie, see what you made happen?
You read the book.
It doesn't matter if you have a rag on.
You read the book.
Find each other sexy.
You know, look, it's I say thank you everyone that's joined us. Thank you everyone that's come on stage. You know, so please, Laverne and Keith, go through the comments and do connect with people in the audience. You know, people who are here.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's a few questions there as well, but thank you so much. You know, it's been a great one, Laverne. It's been a great one. I know the internet, the communication, the slow, the internet lag. Otherwise, it's a Slack problem, but we'll go over it, right? You know,
we did.
You wrote a book. Your middle initial is P.
That's not right. As long as you buy your copy.
This is my life.
It looks like a fun life, Laverne. It's a fun life. Like, Good. No, well done, both of you. No, congratulations. I'm sure we'll say that. It looks like a beautiful marriage you have. And then tomorrow you get divorced. I'm always wary of saying things like that because tomorrow we break up. It's like, Amy, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't me. Yeah, but thank you. Look, we're back here again in 2 weeks' time. No, next week. Every week we're doing this, aren't we, Laverne? We're back here next week, so do join us. So Laverne will give me a topic, and then we'll make sense of it, and then we'll have another conversation about what's in the book. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you all. Keith, you're the star of the show, by the way. And please come back again. Come back again. Don't hide away.
Everybody, don't forget to.
He's on promoting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Promote away. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
was that Shaggy? It wasn't me.
It wasn't
me. Thank you so much. Now, but Keith, we do want to see you more, though. We do want to see more of you for sure.
Yes, I'll work on that, Andy.
Excellent. So you started, right? And Keith's seen that we're nice people, and LinkedIn has changed. LinkedIn is not boring a place for jobs anymore. It is a community of people.
She's been telling me, and I've been peeking on it, and it still look the same to me.
Nah, but now you can see it's different. Now you've seen this side of it. Now it's real people who genuinely care, and you find your tribe, and these friends will support Laverne's book when the time comes.
Right.
And so Laverne will support their books as well when the time comes. That's what we do for each other.
Yes.
So and if we can open doors for each other as well going forward, speaking gigs, events where we can share our expertise, get more visibility.
Right.
We will do, right? But thank you so much, both of you. You're absolute stars. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to play my music and then say bye to everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Wait.
I've got music, probably not, but I'll play the start.
Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with global.media.com.